Hello, dear learners. Welcome back to our channel, where learning English becomes a fun and unforgettable journey. Today, we start the amazing life story of one of the greatest leaders in the world, Nelson Mandela. This is not just a story. It is a journey full of hope, courage, and strong will. Listening to this story will help you learn new English words, practice your speaking, and improve your listening. But more than that, this story will give you hope to follow your dreams and to stay strong when life is hard. So, get ready for one of the most powerful and most inspiring stories you will ever hear. Let's begin the journey of Nelson Mandela, a man who changed history. Nelson Mandela was born on July 18, 1918, in a small and quiet village called Mvezo in the Eastern Cape of South Africa. His birth name was Nelson Mandela. In the Xhosa language, this name means pulling the branch of a tree. Some people also say it means troublemaker, a name that later matched his brave actions against unfair laws. He was part of the Thembu royal family. This tribe has a long and proud history. His father, Gadla Henry Mfakaniazwa, was a chief and advisor to the Thembu king. Mandela's family was not rich, but people respected them a lot. His mother, Nosekeni Fanny, was a Christian and taught him to be kind, humble, and full of faith. Mandela's childhood was simple but happy. He lived in a small house made of mud and straw. There was no electricity, no running water, and no modern things, but Mandela felt free and joyful. As a boy, he ran barefoot in the fields, took care of animals, and swam in rivers. He played traditional games and listened to older people tell stories at night. These stories, often about brave heroes, inspired young Mandela. One day, his father told him, "A true leader does not want power. A true leader wants to help his people." Mandela remembered this for the rest of his life. When Mandela was just 9 years old, something very sad happened. His father got sick and died. This was a painful moment for Mandela, but it also changed his life forever. After his father's death, Mandela's mother took him to live with Chief Janjintaba Dalindibo, a royal leader of the Thembu tribe. The chief treated Mandela like his own son. For the first time, Mandela saw a bigger world outside his small village. He lived in the chief's home, watched meetings, and learned about leadership and duties. At age 7, Mandela started going to a Methodist school. There, his teacher, Miss Mdingane, gave him the name Nelson. In those days, African children were given English names at school. Mandela didn't know why he needed a new name, but he accepted it and studied hard. He became a smart and curious student. He loved learning English, geography, and history, especially about African heroes who fought against foreign rule. Mandela once said, "Education is the most powerful weapon to change the world." He believed this and worked very hard in school. As he grew older, Mandela saw more unfair treatment around him. In South Africa, there was a system called apartheid. This system kept black and white people apart in all areas of life. Black people were not allowed to vote, own land, or live in the same places as white people. Mandela saw these problems and wanted change. At age 16, Mandela joined a traditional Xhosa ceremony where boys become men. During this event, elders talked about being responsible men, but also spoke sadly about how black people suffered under apartheid. Mandela felt he had to help his people. When Mandela turned 19, the chief wanted him to marry. But Mandela had a dream. He wanted more education and to choose his own life path. So, he made a brave choice. He ran away to Johannesburg, a big and busy city. In Johannesburg, Mandela saw a very different world. The city was full of energy, but also full of struggle. Black people worked very hard for little money and lived in poor areas. White people had all the power and comfort. Mandela got a job as a night watchman in a gold mine and kept studying. He lived in a small room and was often hungry, but he never gave up. He believed learning could give him a better future. Later, Mandela joined the University of Witwatersrand to study law. He was one of the few black students there and faced unfair treatment, but it made him stronger. During this time, Mandela joined a group called the African National Congress, ANC. This group fought for black people's rights. He joined secret meetings, listened to strong speeches, and shared his ideas about a better South Africa. Mandela dreamed of a country where black and white people could live together peacefully. He wanted a place where children could play freely, and where everyone was treated fairly. This dream became the goal of his life. But the road was long and full of pain. When Mandela came to Johannesburg, he was just a young man with big dreams. The city was exciting, but also very hard. Black people were treated unfairly and lived in poor places called townships. Mandela stayed in a small room in Alexandra, one of the poorest areas, and worked as a clerk in a law office. The job was hard, but it helped him understand the law and how it hurt black people. At night, he studied by candlelight. He wanted to finish his law degree. He loved learning and never stopped. He once said, "I have walked that long road to freedom. I have made mistakes. But I have learned that after climbing one big hill, there are many more to climb." The ANC was an old group, but Mandela and other young people wanted to make it stronger. They started the ANC Youth League to bring in more young fighters. Mandela gave powerful speeches. He talked about fairness and standing up. People loved his courage and his ideas. One of his famous quotes is, "It always seems impossible until it's done." While working in the ANC, Mandela met a smart and kind nurse named Evelyn Toko Mays. She believed in his dream. They got married in 1944 and had children. Mandela loved his family, but his work kept him away often. His personal life was difficult. He had to care for his family and also lead the fight. He once said, "You must not settle for a life smaller than what you are capable of living." In 1948, the government made new apartheid laws that made life worse for black people. These laws decided where black people could live, work, and who they could marry. Mandela and his friends knew they had to take action. Mandela helped plan peaceful marches and strikes. He believed in peaceful protests like Mahatma Gandhi. Many people joined, risking their safety. But the police answered with violence. Protesters were beaten, jailed, and even killed. Mandela was arrested many times, but he stayed strong. He said, "Being brave doesn't mean you're not afraid. It means you help others be brave too." Still, Mandela reached one big goal. He became a lawyer. In 1952, he and Oliver Tambo opened the first black law office in South Africa. It helped poor black people with their legal problems. He spent his days in court helping others. At night, he worked with the ANC to plan more action. In 1960, something very sad happened. During a peaceful protest in a town called Sharperville, police shot at people. They killed 69 and hurt many more. The world was shocked. Mandela realized peaceful protest was not enough. The government banned the ANC. Mandela and others went into hiding. They started a secret group called Umkhonto we Sizwe, meaning Spear of the Nation. Their goal was not to hurt people, but to destroy buildings that kept apartheid alive. Mandela became a wanted man. He wore disguises, traveled secretly, and got support from other countries. People called him the Black Pimpernel, because he escaped the police many times. But life was dangerous. He could not see his family, and he knew he could be caught any time. In 1962, Mandela was arrested. He was charged with trying to break the law and stop the government. At the trial, Mandela gave a strong speech. He said, "I have fought against white rule and black rule. I want a free and fair country where all people live as equals. I hope to live for this dream. But if I must, I am ready to die for it." He was sent to prison for life. He was taken to Robben Island, a lonely place near Cape Town. Life in prison was very hard. Mandela worked with heavy stones in the hot sun. His cell was very small. He had no bed and slept on a mat. The guards were cruel. Mandela could only see one visitor and get one letter every 6 months. But Mandela did not give up. In prison, he used his time to learn, think, and plan for the future. He even learned the Afrikaans language so he could understand the people who ruled over him. He also helped younger prisoners learn about leadership and staying hopeful. Mandela once said, "I am an optimist. I don't know if I was born this way or if I learned it. But being hopeful means always looking at the light and walking forward." As time went by, Mandela became a symbol of hope for people everywhere. Protests against apartheid became stronger, both inside and outside South Africa. Many world leaders and groups asked for Mandela to be freed, but the government said no. When Mandela went to prison, many people thought his fight was finished. But it was not. His time in prison made more people around the world support the fight against injustice. Mandela stayed in prison for 27 years, most of them on Robben Island. Every day was hard. The guards were cruel and tried to break his spirit. But Mandela stayed strong. The work was very hard, but he never gave up. He once said, "Courage is not having no fear. Courage is winning over fear. A brave person feels fear but still moves forward." In those years, Mandela became more than a prisoner. He became a strong symbol of the fight for justice. Around the world, people shouted, "Free Nelson Mandela!" Children learned his name. Protesters sang songs about him. While Mandela was locked up, the country was in trouble. The government faced more and more protests, worker strikes, and punishments from other countries. Many countries stopped doing business with South Africa. Famous singers like Stevie Wonder and Bob Marley sang songs for Mandela. Even in prison, Mandela still led. He sent secret messages to ANC leaders and even started talking with the government. He knew something very important. If South Africa wanted to win, it needed peace, not revenge. On February 11, 1990, the world watched Nelson Mandela walk out of prison. He was 71 years old. His hair was gray, but his heart was still strong. His first words were, "I stand here not as a great man, but as a servant of the people. Now is the time to heal. Now is the time to build." People danced, cried, and cheered. Mandela's freedom was not just his. It was a new beginning for South Africa. After getting out, Mandela had a big problem to solve. How could the country heal after so much pain? Many people wanted revenge. But Mandela chose to forgive. He even met with people who had treated him badly and worked with them to build a better country. He said, "Anger is like drinking poison and hoping it will hurt your enemy." Mandela became the ANC leader and worked to bring the country its first fair election. His dream was simple, a South Africa where everyone, black, white, Indian, or mixed, had the same rights. In 1994, something amazing happened. For the first time, all South Africans could vote. People waited in long lines, some for hours, to choose their leaders. On April 27, 1994, Mandela was chosen as the first black president of South Africa. His election was full of hope. Leaders from around the world came to see it. Mandela said in his speech, "Never again will one group of people in this beautiful land rule over another. South Africa had a fresh start, and Mandela was leading the way. As president, Mandela tried to bring everyone together. One great example was when he supported South Africa's rugby team, the Springboks, in the 1995 Rugby World Cup. Rugby was a sport mostly loved by white people. But Mandela wore the team's jersey and stood with them. This showed that unity was possible. This powerful moment was shown in the movie Invictus. The title came from Mandela's favorite poem. The last lines are, "I am the master of my fate, I am the captain of my soul." After one term as president, Mandela stepped down in 1999. He showed that great leaders know when to leave power. In his later years, Mandela worked for peace, education, and the fight against poverty and HIV/AIDS. He traveled to many places, met world leaders, and spoke to young people about hope and forgiveness. On December 5, 2013, Nelson Mandela died at the age of 95. People all around the world were very sad. Millions of people came to his memorial, including world leaders, famous people, and many everyday people who loved him. Mandela's legacy is not only in South Africa. It lives everywhere. He showed us that even in the darkest times, hope and hard work can change the world. Nelson Mandela's life teaches us that greatness doesn't come from birth. It comes from working hard, giving up comfort, and always believing in your dreams. His life reminds us, never give up, even when things are very hard. Forgiving others is better than hating them. One person can change the world. Mandela's life shows us the power of hope, patience, and forgiveness. He stayed in prison for 27 years because he believed in fairness. When he came out, he could have chosen hate. But he chose peace. He showed the world that we can always choose love and light, even in dark times. His journey was very hard. Many times, he could have stopped trying. But he kept going. He knew real change takes time, but small steps can make a big difference. He showed us we don't have to be perfect. We just have to keep trying. In every hard time, whether on the streets or in a cold prison cell, Mandela kept his dream alive, a free, equal, and peaceful world. And his fight wasn't just for himself. He fought for his children, grandchildren, and all future people. Mandela once said, "I never lose. I either win or learn." This tells us that failure is not the end. Every time we fall, we can get back up. Every mistake helps us grow and become better. No matter how many times life is hard, we can always keep going. His life shows that anyone can make a change, no matter where you come from. You don't have to be rich or famous. Small acts of kindness and standing up for what is right really matter. Mandela's story is for all of us. It shows that even when life is hard, we are strong enough to keep going. You have the power to win over any problem. You are stronger than you think. So, when you feel like giving up, think of Nelson Mandela. Think of all the pain he went through. But more than that, think of how he kept going. He didn't stop, and you don't have to stop either. Your dreams are worth the fight. You have everything you need inside you. Mandela didn't just change South Africa. He helped change the world. He gave hope to millions, and his message will live on forever. So, take his message and hold it in your heart. Remember, with hope, love, and strength, you can make a better world. In Mandela's words, "The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall." This is the end of Nelson Mandela's story, but his message lives in us all. Remember, no matter how hard life is, you can win. Thanks for watching this video. If you feel inspired, please share Mandela's story with others. Let's keep his dream alive, together. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more amazing stories like this.